Okay, this problem looks fairly straightforward. It says we have a rectangle where the length of it is 8 kilometers longer than the width. Wants us to find the dimensions, so the length and the width, if the area is 180 square units. So I've drawn a picture down below. So I've got x representing the width, and it tells me that the length is 8 kilometers longer. So if I want to find the area of this, then I take the length times the width. So in this case it's going to be x times the quantity, x plus 8, and that's supposed to equal 180. I'm going to go ahead and multiply out the left hand side by distributing the x. So there's my x squared, I know it's a quadratic now, equals 8x, or plus 8x, equals 180. And then because I'm going to use the quadratic formula, I want to get everything on the left. So I'm going to subtract the 180 from both sides, and I'll end up with x squared plus 8x minus 180 is equal to 0. Okay, so I've written down the quadratic formula up in the upper right hand corner. I always like to do that first. Here's my equation. I've just rewritten it again. And I've identified that a is 1, b is 8, and c is negative 180. I also like to put down what negative 4ac is. Well, negative 4 times 1, which is a, and c is negative 180. I'm going to end up with a plus 720 there. So now I'm ready to put these in the quadratic formula. Again, I like to do this in 4 stages. First thing I do is put down the opposite of b. That would be negative 8, since b is positive 8. b squared would be 64, 8 times 8. And then here's my plus 172. And then on the bottom, 2 times a. Well, a is 1, so that would be 2. And it's a lot cleaner. Notice how clean that looks. So I've just got the 4 numbers that I've put in. Now I'm going to simplify it. So resuming here, what I did next was simply add 64 plus 720 and get 784 under the radical sign, which is nice on this problem because that comes out to be 28. I did that on my calculator. And so now I'm down to the last steps here. I need to take negative 8 and add 28. Let's see, negative 8 plus 28 would be 20 over 2 for one of my answers, or 10. And the other answer would be negative 8 minus 28. Let's see, that's negative 36 over 2, which is negative 18. Now, oftentimes what happens in equations like this is we get extraneous solutions. It doesn't make sense that x, which is the width, could be a negative number. So really, I end up with just one answer. Again, remembering that x is the width. So when I put my answers in the boxes here, the width would be 10. And if I look at my unknowns here, it says the length is 8 more than that, so the answer for the length would be 18. A quick note here, this one came out nice because of the square root of 784 came out to be 28. If it doesn't come out to be nice, you would simply use your calculator and round it off, it says, to the nearest hundredth, so 2 behind the decimal.